Hello, Jonathan Jumbo here. Welcome to a new series that I've thought of, the Siege Stepladder. So, the way it works is I'm going to be setting myself 10 milestones for Siege of Heaven, each milestone on a different map. The milestone will be a particular score I need to achieve, and will also have a set of constraints attached. By the end of these 10 milestones, I intend to improve my siege ability and hopefully be able to compete with the likes of Jarek and Arby. These videos are intended to those who are serious about Siege and taking their scores to the next level like I am. For the more casual players, these videos aren't for you. So, in this series, each milestone will have a recording attached as and when I beat the milestone. So, for this video, this is the first one. These videos are not tutorials. I will not be breaking down my thought process in this video. Instead, I'll be talking for a minute or two at the start, explaining my general strategy, and then leaving the recording to play out for itself. For those of you who want a breakdown of my thought process, I'll be doing other videos. For Lost Passage, I have a video up where I've broken down my strategy in Wave 13 in one of my other runs where I managed to pull off a perfect. So without further ado, let's get into the first milestone. And that is scoring 2 million on Lost Passage. As for the constraints for this milestone, Rage mode is not allowed. There will be no other constraints here. You can score however you like. Now, a lot of new Siege players out there might gasp that I'm setting 2 million on Lost Passage as the very first milestone to achieve. But there's a good reason for that. The key skills that this milestone tests are your ability to combo waves, not miss, and pull off Tempest money shots. So, let's start with the first one here, the not missing part. Now, a lot of players at this point would be shouting that this is easier said than done, and you'd be right. However, there are many things you can do to make this easier for yourself. First off, there's a reason I chose the map Lost Passage, and that's that you can store pretty damn well without spawning cupids or holy lights. In particular, you don't need to do any of that to reach this milestone. So therefore, you don't want to be going for headshots unless you absolutely need to. In fact, the only enemies you'll need to be headshotting are knights, and the reason for that is that they take multiple shots to kill. However, if you headshot them, you'll kill them in one shot. However, even that you can make easier for yourself by waiting for them to get fairly close to the gate before attempting your shot. On all other enemies, a body shot will suffice. Just aim for the centre of mass, and hopefully you'll not miss. The other thing you can do is slow time use. This not only slows the enemies, but also slows the combo timer. Use this to think and plan your shots so you don't get overwhelmed and forced to rush. To help you defend the gate, and this is important if you're wanting to get perfects, is crowd control. You'll want to have a sea of incursions defending the gate, and when things get tough, use Hand of God to slow everything down so you can take your time with your shots. But be very careful. That Hand of God expires with very little warning. Now that you know how to build up a combo and get perfect waves, the next part will be how to score big. To do this, once you've got a high combo, you'll want to be firing Tempests to the enemies going along the back corridor through the double gap shot. Ideally, you want to be hitting them in the head with Tempest for ×2 points. There are quite a few angles that you can be firing the Tempest for a double gap shot. In fact, the places that I was firing the Tempest, I actually got the Tempest to graze 3 of the gaps, but unfortunately the game doesn't register a triple gap shot. The second Tempest money shot is on the orphans, and this only applies if the orphans go down a particular stairway. I won't go into this too much here, but I'll link to you a video where this exact shot is explained by RB Avenue. So I've now explained how to achieve 2 million points, but one question, why did I assert the constraint of no rage mode? The way I see it, using rage mode on this map before you've built up consistency is like trying to run before you can walk. And the reality is, if you're not able to hit 2 million without the rage mode, then you've not learned to walk yet. There were many things I could have done better on my run. For one, I ended up saving a lot of the Tempests for the last wave and ended up wasting a bunch. Those could have been used to score more points. I also ended up ruining my perfect on a few key waves where I would have scored quite a big perfect bonus on, specifically 12 and 14. And the orphan shots, I still haven't mastered hitting the orphan in the head with Tempest properly. So I would have got twice as many points from them had I done so. The key waves that got me the most points were 8 and 11, namely the ones that I managed to perfect. Also with wave 8, there's a big cluster of enemies that walk towards the double gap towards the start. They can be worth quite a lot of points, especially if, like here, I went on to perfect the wave. Also, wave 8 is an orphan wave, so again, more points. But those aren't the only opportunities. From wave 8 onwards, you have many opportunities to use your Tempest and score points, and I failed to take them. So while the leaderboard might be showing a different story, 2 million is quite a low bar here, and is achievable by everyone, assuming they are serious and put in the time. To wrap up, one big myth about Siege that I often hear is that you need good aim to play Siege, but that's further from the truth. If you play Siege, you will get good aim. It's that way round. Good luck reaching the milestone, and I will let the video roll.